Let me start with a scenario. You move in with someone you like. Maybe it's a friend, a college roommate, a coworker, or someone you met online who seemed chill. At first, everything is fine. You split rent, you split utilities, you split groceries, kind of. And then, slowly, things start to feel weird. Someone's always late on rent. Someone's using stuff they didn't pay for. Someone's quietly annoyed but doesn't say anything. And suddenly, the apartment feels tense. Here's the scary part. Most roommate situations don't blow up because people are bad people. They blow up because money was never clearly talked about. And today, we're going to break down why roommate money drama happens, the most common mistakes people make, and how to protect both your finances and your friendships. Because adulting lesson number 1, a shared living space without clear money rules is a ticking time bomb. Let's be honest, most people don't move in with roommates thinking, yeah, this might ruin our friendship. They think things like, we'll figure it out, it'll be fine, we're adults. And honestly, that sounds reasonable. But here's where things start to go wrong. Everyone comes into a roommate situation with a different money background, different spending habits, income levels, priorities, expectations around money, and almost no one actually talks about that up front. So let me introduce you to Alex and Jordan. Alex is super responsible, pays bills early, tracks expenses, hates owing money, like it genuinely stresses them out. Jordan, on the other hand, isn't irresponsible. They're just relaxed, pays when they can, doesn't really stress about deadlines, figures it'll work out eventually. And here's the key part. No one here is a bad person. Alex isn't controlling, Jordan isn't careless, but put them in the same apartment? That's friction waiting to happen. Because money problems between roommates rarely start with big arguments. They start with small things. A bill that's a few days late, a Venmo request that sits unanswered. One person quietly covering the cost this time. Again. And slowly, without anyone saying it out loud, resentment starts to build. That's how roommate money drama actually begins. The real reasons roommate money drama starts. 1. I thought you'd just Venmo me. This is, hands down, the most common roommate money problem, and it usually starts really small. Rent is due, the utilities bill comes in, the internet bill hits. One person looks at it and thinks, okay, I'll just take care of it. So they pay the full amount. Then they casually tell their roommate, hey, just Venmo me when you get a chance. And the other person usually means well. They say, yeah, for sure, I'll send it later. But here's where things start to break down, because later is vague. Later might mean after work, tomorrow, when they get paid, or whenever they remember. So later turns into tomorrow. Tomorrow turns into next week. And now, without agreeing to it, one person is floating hundreds of dollars. Not because they wanted to, not because they offered, but because no one clearly defined what was supposed to happen. And even if the money does eventually get paid, something changes. The person who paid starts thinking, why do I always have to remind them? They start checking their bank account more. They feel a little anxious, a little annoyed, a little taken advantage of, even if that wasn't the intention. Meanwhile, the other roommate might be thinking, why are they making this such a big deal? I said I'd pay. And now you've got two people, both thinking they're being reasonable, both slightly frustrated, and neither saying it out loud. That's how trust slowly takes a hit. Not because of one big argument, but because of small, repeated moments where expectations weren't clear. And over time, that tension doesn't stay about the bill. It spills into passive-aggressive comments, awkward silence, or arguments that seem random but aren't. All because no one clearly answered one simple question up front. Who pays what and when? That's why this issue shows up in almost every roommate situation at some point. Unequal income, equal bills. This one is a little more complicated, and honestly, a lot more common than people admit. Let's say you have two roommates. One of them makes around $80,000 a year. The other makes closer to $45,000 a year. On paper, everything looks fair. Rent is split evenly, utilities are split evenly, groceries are shared. Same apartment, same bills, same numbers. But here's the part people don't talk about. Equal doesn't always feel equal. For the roommate making $80,000, the bills get paid and life moves on. Rent comes out and they still have breathing room. They can go out, they can save a little. They don't feel stressed every time a bill hits. But for the roommate making $45,000, that same rent hits very differently. They're watching their account closely. They're doing mental math before spending. They're hoping nothing unexpected comes up that month. So while the bills are even, the pressure is not. One person feels stretched. The other person doesn't even notice there's a stretch. And here's where the real problem starts. The person who's struggling usually doesn't say anything because they don't want to, seem difficult, sound like they're complaining, or feel embarrassed about making less money. So instead of saying, "Hey, this setup is kind of hard for me," they stay quiet. They say yes to things they can't really afford. They split groceries they didn't use much. They agree to rent increases they're uncomfortable with. And all of that stress builds quietly. Until one day, something small sets it off. Maybe it's a dinner bill. Maybe it's a grocery run. Maybe it's another expense that feels unnecessary. And suddenly, it explodes. To the other roommate, it feels out of nowhere. But to the person who's been holding it in, it's been building for months. And again, this isn't about anyone being wrong. No one did anything malicious. No one was trying to take advantage. The issue wasn't money. It was unspoken expectations. And that's why unequal income situations need more communication, not less. The shared stuff illusion. This one seems small, but it causes so much tension between roommates. I'm talking about the shared stuff. Things like food, toilet paper, paper towels, cleaning supplies. When you first move in, someone usually says, "Let's just split it." And at the time, that sounds fair, simple, easy. But here's what actually happens in real life. One person ends up buying most of it. They're the one grabbing toilet paper when it runs out. They're the one replacing paper towels. They're the one buying dish soap and cleaning spray. Another person uses it, assumes someone else will replace it, doesn't even notice it's gone until it magically reappears. Then there's food. One roommate eats out a lot, the other cooks at home. But somehow, the groceries disappear anyway. Someone's food gets eaten, someone's snacks go missing. Someone opens the fridge and thinks, "Wait, did I buy that?" And here's the worst part. No one keeps track. Not because they're careless, but because keeping track feels awkward. It feels petty. It feels like making a big deal out of small stuff. So instead of saying something, people stay quiet. But every time it happens, something adds up. Not just money, resentment. The person buying everything starts thinking, "Why am I always the one paying for this?" And the other person might not even realize there's a problem, because from their perspective, no one said anything. And that's how this turns into a silent issue. No argument, no confrontation, just small annoyances stacking up over time. Until one day, something tiny, like a missing snack or an empty toilet paper roll, turns into a way bigger argument than it ever should have been. Not because of the item, but because of everything it represents. That's the shared stuff illusion. It sounds fair, but without clear rules, it almost always creates tension, avoidance instead of conversation. The problem no one wants to admit. This one is the real relationship killer, not just for roommates, but for friendships in general. Because when money issues start showing up, most people don't say anything. They don't want to, sound rude, start drama, feel awkward, or make things weird. So instead of having a simple conversation, they do other things. They get quietly annoyed. They vent to friends who don't live there. Bro, my roommate still hasn't paid me back. They tell themselves, it's fine. I'll let it slide this time. I don't want to ruin the vibe. And on the surface, it looks like they're keeping the peace. But here's the truth. Silence doesn't actually keep the peace. It just pushes the problem down the road. Because every time you don't say something, the frustration doesn't disappear. It stacks. So the next time it happens, you're not just annoyed about this bill. You're annoyed about last month's bill, the time before that, and the fact that you feel like you always have to be the responsible one. And eventually, something small becomes the breaking point. Maybe it's a forgotten Venmo request, an unpaid utility bill, or something unrelated, like dishes in the sink. And suddenly, the reaction feels way bigger than the situation. That's because it wasn't about the dishes. It was about everything that never got said. Avoiding the conversation didn't protect the friendship. It slowly damaged it. And the frustrating part? Most of these situations could have been solved with one calm sentence early on. Hey, can we set a clearer system for bills? This is stressing me out. Not aggressive, not dramatic, just honest. Because uncomfortable conversations, handled early, are way less painful than explosive ones later. The rules that prevent 90% of roommate drama. Here's the good news. Most roommate drama is preventable if you set things up right from the beginning. Rule 1. Have the awkward money talk early. Before moving in, or ASAP if you already live together, talk about rent, utilities, groceries, internet, cleaning supplies, guests, late payments. If it feels awkward, good. That means you're doing it right. Rule 2. One person pays, one person owes. Never both guess. Decide clearly who pays which bill, when reimbursement is due, how it's tracked. Use Venmo, Zelle, Splitwise, anything consistent. No guessing. No, I thought you paid. No confusion. Rule 3. Automate what you can. Automation removes emotion. Examples: auto-pay rent, auto-pay utilities, standing Venmo transfers. The less you have to remind each other, the better the relationship stays. Rule number 4. Stop pretending shared everything works. It usually doesn't. Better options. Everyone buys their own groceries. Rotate shared supplies monthly. Or split a fixed household fund. Clarity greater than fairness debates. Rule 5. Decide how to handle late payments before they happen. Ask this up front. What happens if someone is late? Not emotionally, practically. Because emergencies happen, but patterns matter. Rule number 6. Separate friendship from finances. Living together is a business arrangement and a personal one. You can be friends, but rent is rent. Treat money issues like logistics, not personal attacks. Rule 7. Schedule a monthly check-in. This can be 10 minutes over coffee, casual. Ask, are bills feeling fair? Anything bothering you? Anything we should adjust? This prevents resentment from piling up when things are already tense. If you're already in a bad roommate situation, here's what helps. Address it calmly. Stick to facts, not emotions. Focus on solutions, not blame. Say,